Today I'm going to take you through the things that I did to move from being a nervous wreck to recording my first YouTube video. I am an introvert and I've always been terrified of public speaking, but I feel like it's part of my purpose and something that I'm really passionate about, to be able to share my skills and knowledge and experience with other people. So it's something that I really wanted to be able to push past. And so there's a few things that I've done over the years to get myself to this point. And in the past, it's something that I just would have been absolutely frozen by, and I just would not have been able to do at all. So I'm an introvert. I am not naturally comfortable speaking in front of a camera, speaking in front of a crowd, speaking up in front of people in meetings or anything like that. So it doesn't come naturally to me. It's something that I've really worked at, and I want to share that with you today. So the first thing that I did that has made a huge difference to my confidence and comfort speaking in front of people and ultimately speaking in front of a camera is joining Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters many years ago when I first lived in Melbourne, and it took me about 12 months to be able to sign up and turn up to Toastmasters because I was that scared to even turn up. And I did eventually turn up, and I did a few speeches, and I was a member for about 12 months or so, maybe a couple of years, did a couple of speeches and some off-the-cuff talking while I was there, and slowly built some confidence up that way. Since moving to where I live now, I've rejoined Toastmasters and I'm continuing to build on those skills. What I really love about Toastmasters is it is, for those of you that don't know, it is a public speaking club, and it is a really welcoming environment. It is something that exists all around the world, and people go there to learn how to public speak. So there's no judgment. It's a really welcoming environment. So I do encourage anybody to go along and give it a go. You can just search for your local club. The second thing that I did after joining Toastmasters was practice speaking up in meetings at work. And I also found that really hard, even just to speak up in meetings, but I started to not put my hand up because I wasn't in class, but just speak up, share my opinions, share my thoughts. And I was very fortunate that I was in an environment where me speaking up in those meetings was welcome. So that just helped me become more comfortable as well. The third thing that I did was I started to volunteer at work to speak in front of audiences. There was times where I would present, maybe just one slide. I would co-present with people. I offered to interview people in front of groups of people, just to build up my confidence. And a lot of people around work knew that it was a skill that I was building on, so they were quite forgiving, and they could see that I was just giving it a go. So that was another thing that I did. My work, where I used to work, they were really good with training, and they were running facilitator training, and I found out about it and I asked if that was something that I could participate in, and I was very lucky that I was able to participate in facilitator training. What I really love about being a facilitator is, so I learned some skills in that where you are public speaking, you are speaking in front of people, but it really taught me that being a facilitator requires planning ahead. You get tools, you learn icebreaker techniques, and it's really about asking questions of other people and leading other people. So it's not so much about presenting. You do sometimes need to present, but it's a lot more about, there's no reason you can't have a piece of paper in front of you with the agenda and refer to your piece of paper, refer to your notes, refer to the icebreakers that you've pre-planned, and refer to the questions that you have asked people, that you want to ask people to facilitate the conversation or the training that you're running. So I learned some really valuable skills in facilitation training, and I learned that that's something I really enjoy doing, more so than just doing a monologue, is actually facilitating training or workshops where other people get to be involved as well. I then started sending my friends, started sending each other voice notes and just sending each other monologues with updates of what was happening in our lives. That really helped me get comfortable with just talking off the cuff, and because they were my really close friends, it was something that I was really comfortable. I wasn't feeling judged, and I could just talk off the cuff and get comfortable with that. When work started to go work from home a few years ago, well, about 5 or 6 years ago now, I became more comfortable with Zoom meetings and video meetings and video workshops. So getting more comfortable with participating in Zoom and video workshops and meetings. Also, that was also something that I really wasn't comfortable with at first when we went to a work from home model. So being able to participate in video calls of any description. Even studying, I'm studying at TAFE, and we are required to get onto video calls and record ourselves presenting. So that's another good way to get in front of the camera and practice. My friend and I started a few years ago, well, over 12 months now, sending a weekly video note to each other, and it was supposed to be 3 minutes, but sometimes they can be as long as 20 minutes. And we just go on a monologue and we give life updates, and we include the ums and the ahs and the, oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say, and I should have written the notes down sort of thing. So we just go completely, sometimes off the cuff, sometimes we have notes to refer to. But again, that was really uncomfortable at first, where I was like, wow, like, is that really how I look on camera? But I remembered that, you know, my friend loves me for who I am, exactly as I am. And it doesn't matter how I look and how I present and how I talk, because that's how we talk in person, that's how we catch up in person. So I also then started watching those back as well, and got really comfortable doing that. And that's definitely been a huge help with getting me comfortable speaking on camera. And finally, the last one is practice. You can get your phone, you can record, you can delete the video. One thing that I've learnt with Toastmasters is something that they call table topics. And what you can do is you can actually just type in random table topics questions on Google, and there's you'll find a website where it will prompt you for random questions. And it will ask you, it might just ask you something like, talk about the weather today. So you can just record yourself doing that and just talking about something completely random and answering a question. So I highly recommend doing that as well. And finally, just start. You can always delete the video and start again, and you can always edit the video. So that is my 9 tips on how to get more comfortable speaking in front of people and speaking in front of a camera and recording your first YouTube video.